nice, and it becomes less and less lonelier place. Having said that, Mark too was a very lonely guy when he started jobs. So he had that extra hand means for company. And the thing is, Mark was lonely for 4 years, right? 1995 to 1999, right? You had to go through that. You can't expect people to have you truly believe in the political idea, you need to be prepared to go in alone. So he was lonely for 4 years. So I joined in, the two of us did something, and Suresh joined in another year later. So the three of us. Then Greg joined, Greg Walsh is CFO of JobStreet now. Then it goes the four of us. Right? So it started, and Suresh remember saying this to me, you know, Malek, I was wondering what crazy thing Mark was doing, right? But he recruited you, and because he could recruit you, a Harvard guy, something must be right about JobStreet. Therefore, that's why I joined, right? So sometimes it's just smoke and mirrors. It's just like, yeah, I just went in thinking, oh, what's this about? But then it became cumulative in you. The moment you start to build from 2 to 3, it becomes bigger. However, to your answer, when others are, oh, I cannot do this, that means they're not true entrepreneurs. They're not willing to quit their jobs to do this. It can be a scenario where you are working, and I've seen in America particularly, where you're working, not taking a salary, the guy your partner gives you half the salary. Possible. It's done before. And then you can do it. But you must have that trust level. Things don't work out. So you must also give us some time to it. Does that answer?
The other thing I was wondering about is how you build a sector. You know, the US, a lot of entrepreneurs also have the support of very seasoned other entrepreneurs who have done it before. Yes. On the middle of the board directors,
yes,
helping out, so you can actually come to them and say, how do you, how much should I offer? A lot of times, administrative matters, least you want to worry about. You want to work with ideas.
Yes.
So how do you go about finding these people?
Finding the right people. You do it as you go along. Ideally, it's nice to be able to identify the folks before you even start. But sometimes you don't. You're right. Sometimes it can happen along the way. I'll give you an example with BFM. In terms of informal advice, I have lots of informal advice from other shareholders and so on. However, the gem came as I was doing BFM. Someone walked through the doors and said, hey, I like your product, I want to buy on behalf of my client. But after a while, when I talked to her, she became actually a believer, and she had 20 years of media experience, media selling experience, and she kind of consults to us. She's not even an employee, she consults to us. And that is big. So there are other ways, but sometimes if people come in and say, "Oh, I will only advise you if I get certain percentage of a company." It's okay. Sometimes there's something about handshakes. There's something about human relationships where you can look at a person in the eye and say, "Don't worry, if this goes well, you'll get something." Right? And you look at each other in the eye. Sometimes you make the connection, sometimes you don't. If that person believes you, then sometimes I'm seeing this a lot with kids. They don't get people saying stock, but they know they will get something.
Malek, in relation to partners, what about venture capital and investors?
Okay.
Your partners?
Yeah, it gets easier. Well, the first one, I think I had a very atypical experience. My first venture, the newspaper, first meeting, I raised $1 million. One meeting, half an hour meeting, done. Unusual experience. However, I built credibility to get that $1 million. I had built up credibility by working as a consultant to his organization for about 3 months. So that's some element to that. Second venture, actually not really relevant because I came in 1999. Mark started off with 200,000 ringgit for 4 partners to launch it. But by the time I came, the venture capitalists were just already saying, we like that company, but someone needs to write a business plan. So I was roped in to just write a business plan. This was there was 2 million came in after that. For BFM, it wasn't easy. I was raising money during a financial crisis, the recent one. However, I guess it gets easier. Once you build credibility, it gets easier when it gets older. So right now, I can tap into, for example, the JobStreet folks and say, hey guys, we used to work together. this is a venture now. You know me, you know my strengths, you know my weakness. Are you willing to invest, right? So out of the founders of JobStreet, the senior team, 3 invested, 2 did not, right? So it's that kind of thing. It becomes an easier process. And then I tapped onto sort of some people I've interacted with venture capital when I was at JobStreet. Some people connections with there, the Asgaris group, Intelligent Capital. Really we have great relationships over 7-8 years. So you're a known quantity. They know your strength, and actually they'll come back and they actually come back like, well, your weakness is A, B, C, D, E, right? How do you intend to counter that? We know you so well that we know what you're going to be lousy at, right? So how are you going to counter this? So we work out a plan to counter that, recruiting or something. So can't be strong at everything. The person who asked me about funding, what was that? Sorry. The person who asked me about funding. Anything else on that? Okay. Having said that, funding is difficult funding is quite difficult, particularly I think in this region. People are more proprietary. They don't. People invest in startups here do not have a portfolio mentality, right? They have like one, and the risk must be like almost foolproof. That's the sense, right? So the risk-reward ratio is not there, but they don't have a portfolio mentality. In the US, yes, they have a bit more portfolio mentality. Okay, this is a bit speculative, but however, if it works out, it means the returns are huge. Okay, if you out of 10, you get 2 which are home runs, fantastic, right? You get the 1 or 2, not necessarily Googles of the world. You get the Facebooks or whatever. One of these 2, that's fine. There's deal flow as well. They're used to that. So harder. Let me just give one anecdote of a ridiculous example of to what extent funding, the philosophy behind funding. I went to a particular company, and they said, all right, well, tell you what, we put in the money, you assign your shares to us, right? If you do well, I give you options. I give you options. You do well, you get back your shares. Yeah, and things like that. So I'm like, wow, this is so far out from venture capital. This is truly the sort of this thing. So you'll have it will be an issue. It will always be an issue. I think I've heard of nightmare stories of entrepreneurs. Particularly if you deal with tycoons or things, you've got to be very, very careful. It's just those with a lot of money in Malaysia sometimes, and they self-made. The control factor is still very strong. They take a stake, but basically they aim to take control, which is which is fair. I mean, it's like that's their philosophy. If you're trying to build something, it's something very hard. Right now for BFM, I'm not majority, but I'm the largest shareholder. The largest shareholder in the company. We've raised about 5 million ringgit to do this, and it comes with, to me, hashing out business plans are not an issue. It's quite easy. The hardest part is to convince people. No one likes to give seed capital in Malaysia that I know. People don't mind. Oh, we have some revenues. Can we now participate? How do you get revenues already? Like, hey, why should I? Right now, for example, I think we probably can do with 5 million ringgit, but I'd like to raise 1 million ringgit on standby. Standby, I don't need it. So right now, we change our funding thing. So like, okay, you guys don't want to participate in seed round, all right, we'll give, who wants to lend us 1 million ringgit at 10% per annum.